Hello, visitors and subscribers. It's Prince Crew LDN. I'm Itai, and I'm here today with
Hughes.
We're in London, Shoreditch, and the subject of today, believe it or not, is abortion. So, Hughes, why don't you say your first opinion on it?
Obviously, before I start, I know such a sensitive subject to many, but my beliefs in it is that it's your body, you're allowed to do whatever you want with it, and no one should tell you what to do.
Well, there's loads of conflicting opinions on abortion when it comes to cultures, countries, and religions. For example, I know the Catholic Church, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and Sikhism, they're all in general against abortion. Sometimes there's exceptions. For example, in Hinduism, if it's in order to save the woman's life, they're fine with abortion. And also in other countries, for example, in some American states like Georgia, they have the heartbeat ban, whereas the fetus, if it has a heartbeat, then abortion is illegal. No doctor can perform abortion. Well, let's cut to the guests. I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm Murphy.
So I'm going to talk to you about abortion and what your opinions on it. Now, in some American states, they have the heartbeat ban, where you can't perform an abortion on a fetus if it has a heartbeat. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think I would disagree with it. What about you?
I was like, yes, I'm with you. But like stand in the middle.
Can you rephrase your question again? Sorry.
So, do you agree that if a fetus has a heartbeat, that should be legal to abort it or illegal to abort it?
I think it will be illegal for me personally, because I think given the amount of time for women to choose before the fetus has a heartbeat, I think it would give them a proper amount of time in a way. But of course there's concerns nowadays that I think it's about 6 weeks, isn't it? It's about 6 weeks that a fetus will have a heartbeat, and people say that most women don't know they're gonna be pregnant in like amount of 6 weeks in average. But for me personally, I think it's wiser to not for it to be legal, but I do not completely believe that abortion should be legal. Like, do you understand what I mean? Yeah.
I was like, cause in my country, we can choose, like the parents can choose like this decision. Like if you, I don't know how to say, it's like, the woman, the mother can choose like, they can keep it, or not. So I was like, it depends on like personal background, their choice, something like that.
And lastly, we all know that most religions, I'll say, are generally against it. Do you believe that religion should have a say in whether an individual decides to have an abortion or not?
For me personally, I come from Indonesia, and Indonesia consists of 90% of Muslims. And although I'm personally a Christian, I do believe that religion doesn't necessarily allow you to control your life in a way, because religion is a faith, and I don't think it necessarily have control of your life. Like, do you understand? So I don't think abortion should be based on religion, and I think it's necessarily about yourself. And however, I do think that when a fetus has a heartbeat, I do think that's kind of illegal to completely live.
You think it's illegal?
Yeah, only after it has a heartbeat, so not before 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, like for me, I think you have a religion, but you like, I mean, before you have religion, you like, you believe in yourself. So like the religion should be work for individual. Yeah. So when like the fetus have heartbeat, if you don't want it, like it is not even completely like a life. Yes. It doesn't have like thought. So I think it's kind of legal to have abortion. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. That was a good help.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Here with
Kelvin.
Kelvin, so I want to ask you questions about abortion. Do you disagree or agree that abortion should be legal?
It's a hard one, but overall I think it should be legal. I think you should, but obviously there should be a process that you go through to actually allow the person to have an abortion. But a woman should be able to, she should be allowed to decide whether she wants a child or not, because it's her body at the end of the day, and you're not in control of her body in that sense. So you shouldn't have that. If that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense to you. Then also, I feel like there's certain circumstances where women have to kind of go for abortion. Like, let's talk about topics of rape. What's happening to guys that rape women on the streets and that are molesting young girls as well? So when they have a kid for them, what? Are they supposed to just keep it? Nah, that's all mad. I'm not gonna lie, my daughter got raped and she wants to tell me she keep it. I said, aye, listen, get rid of that child. I would even be against aborting it, to be honest with you. That's mad still. But yeah, I think it should be legal, but obviously there should be a process.
And also, in America, they have the heartbeat ban, where if the fetus develops a heartbeat, it's illegal for it to be aborted. Do you agree there should be a time period when it comes to abortions?
I think there should be a time period, because then now you're dealing with human life. This is someone that they could have been given a chance to live. So that's where, see, this is where it gets a bit tricky. But you always have a time period anyway. Most women are aware of the time period where the fetus develops anyway. You understand? So if you now disregard the whole abortion thing, say, yeah, it's illegal, you don't give them the power to make that decision before it gets to that point, then you kind of made the decision for her that could negatively impact her life. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm not against abortion. I think it should be legal. Just it should have a process. You understand? And a time span, like you said.
Thank you very much. Good talk.
Yes.
I think that religion, all your family, your environment, it's influenced to your decision to get an abortion.
That's good. So what advice would you give someone who's like going through this?
I think that you will be sure that your decision, but it's your own decision, because it's all that you do by yourself.
Okay guys, that was good. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you.
Molly.
So today's questions about abortion.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on abortion? Are you for it or against it?
For it.
Could you explain your reasoning behind it?
Because it should be someone's choice, and I feel like you shouldn't bring more children into the world when there's so many children who are in foster homes and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. The second question is, do you think religion and culture plays part in this matter?
It shouldn't, but I think it does.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, I'm here with
Martina,
Martina. Where are you from, Martina?
from Venice, Italy.
Oh, Venice, Italian. Okay, so we're talking about abortion. So are you for abortion or against it?
For abortion, basically. I have like respect for life, but also I think that it doesn't worth to give birth to someone if you will not be able to take care of that person. Because I'm not saying that because of women, but because of children. I think that we always need to be responsible when we have children. And so I think that the focus when the debate about abortion is carried on should be more on children rather than women, because I think that, for example, a friend of mine many years ago committed suicide because she had a very difficult situation in her family, and that's one of the ways in which parents can damage their children, and that's why I think that sometimes it's better abortion rather than keeping a child if you are like mentally not healthy or if you don't have some kind of problem, etc.
And also, most religions are against abortion, like the Catholic Church, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Islam as well. Do you believe that religion should have a say on whether abortion should be done or shouldn't be done?
I think that at the moment religions have an influence about choices on abortion, and sometimes those choices are not carried out by morality, because I think that morality is one thing and religion is another, and sometimes religion is like so focused on morality that is not able to relate morality to a context. I don't know if I'm able to explain it.
Relate to the morality to the circumstances or the individual?
Exactly. So we should always think about morality, which is okay. I agree with it. I agree with that abortion is something which is not nice, and that we should always think that is always a life and we should take respect of it. But always we need to think about the context. And sometimes religion are only focused about their own idea about how we should act, but they don't take the context into account, which is important because it changes everything. Buddhism says that something is dharma, so it's correct if depending on the consequences and depending on the intention of the individual. So even if you kill someone and maybe you killed a man because he was trying to kill 10 other men, in that case it can be okay, and I agree with it. I think we should apply the same concept, the same idea to the Buddhism.
To abortionism?
To abortion. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I hope I explained.
You're very well spoken.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.